about dead bug progressions because these are such a great exercise and can pretty much be done right from the very beginner level all the way through to I am like six-pack abs, super strong fitness model level and work your core incredibly well. So let's get down onto the ground and I want to go through the different progressions that we have. So to start with, we are obviously just going to be working on TVAs, okay? So making sure that the bottom of the rib cage is on the ground there, so we're not like this. So we don't want this big arch here because that means your back is doing the work. So you want the lower part of your rib cage on the ground. Under it here, the lower part of your back can be off the ground. And we are working the TVA engagement. So inhale, exhale, engage. Inhale, exhale, engage. So step one is being able to do the engagement. Now what we don't want to see is inhale, exhale. Okay, so if we have this motion, then you cannot progress into the next stage of the dead bugs. And the next stage of the dead bugs is knee lifts. So inhale, exhale, engage, and then we have our knee lifts. So this is the next stage of the dead bugs. So you need to be able to do your knee lifts without your back coming off the ground. So we don't want to see this, like this, or any engagement this way, okay? So we have it all nicely engaged, braced, and our knees come off the ground really nicely. Next stage of this is thinking about an overhead reach, okay? So once we can do this stage, we want to also be able to reach over our head. Now, we can do this a few ways. We can grab a weight and think coming down and up like this. So lightweight. Now, the key with this is that the ribs stay down. So we don't want this happening because, again, we're working our back versus our core. So we want inhale, exhale, bringing it down and forward. Down and forward. So that way. Or you can also work using a band. And this is in the intermediate program. So we would have the band around 1 foot like this, and then we would bring it forward and connecting our core, and then exhaling, lifting over our head like this. Okay, and again, we're not allowing our back to work. It's all about bracing that core. All right, so that's the next progression. After that, we want to work on toe taps. So this one's actually a lot harder than the knee lifts because we have to be able to connect our core and bring 1 foot up and then the other foot up, okay? So that means that we can't let the back come off like this. So we don't want any back. We want exhale, exhale. Then keeping our chest down, our ribs down on the ground, our core nicely braced, we're going to work toe taps. Alright? So that's the next stage is these toe taps, making sure we don't use our back or we don't have an arch in our back because this is super easy, guys. This is super, super easy. But my back's doing all the work, my front and my core isn't. So we want to be in this position here for that stage of the dead bugs. After that, then the next stage, you're going to grab a band, and what we want to do is we want to work the serratus at the same time as our knee lifts and then our toe taps. So, coming down, we're going to activate our serratus by having the band under our brow line, inhaling, exhaling, pushing straight up so that your arms are just above your eye level and you're pushing away from the ground. And then in this position, you're going to work your knee lifts. So this really works the deep core because now our obliques can't take over. And then I also want you to work toe taps, right? And you should be starting to really feel this one now. I can feel it. All right, the other thing you can do for this is you can have the band attached to the bottom of a door or around a pole and pull it this way, okay? So I don't have it attached, but if it was attached to something, you would be pulling, again, still pulling up to the ceiling to activate that serratus, but you're pulling it this way with this attached to a door. You're going to have both hands up and do the same thing rather than having it wrapped around your back. Okay, then once we're at that position, we can start going into the dead bugs as you know them. So that's going to be bringing our arms and head up, and we're going to do it with toe taps. So opposite arm and leg. Okay, can you see how my back does not move off the ground? There's absolutely no movement whatsoever. Then once you've got that, then you can start extending it out. So it may not be straight to start with. You may still need that toe tap, but at a greater distance from the body. Then you can move it all the way out, like this. Okay, again, we don't want any movement in our back. It all comes from the front of our core. All right, after we can do that, we have a couple of progressions to make it a little bit harder. So one is to use a ball. So again, our back stays flat on the ground, so under our ribcage is on the ground. Our lower back has a slight curve in it. We're pushing on the ball and then out and in, out and in. And this brings in a whole nother level of difficulty, balancing it, making sure the ball stays there. We're keeping pressure on our legs, all right? There we go. Out and in, out and in. All right, whew. All right, so there are a couple of other options that we have as well. If you really want to work hard at this and we don't have a ball, what you can do is when you're in this position, you can push up with your legs and up with your arms. Now this is just about like a mini lower crunch. So it's a really small movement, but it really engages your core. So you're going to exhale and push up. So you're pushing up like you would with the serratus and up with the legs. So we're actually pushing our lower back into the ground and our upper back just below here, our brow line, into the ground to cause more tension in our abdomen, and then work the dead bugs from this position, really thinking of pushing it up and up. Ooh! All right, so that really hurts. And the last, well, there's another progression from this, is from here, we can also push up, and then when we go down, we stay down and do a full exhale. So you're going to do an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Oh, all right. So that one really gets it. It causes you in that really long position where we're really stressing it to then really work the core with that last exhale. Another option you can do is if you have light hand weights, you can, or ankle weights, you can also use them, but you know, I think you'll find even just with your breath that it really works your core a lot. But you are welcome to also use hand weights to increase the intensity. All right, so those were all your dead bug progressions. Let me know below what progression you guys are up to.